The world of Hawkins, Indiana, is one of flickering lights, terrifying monsters, and government conspiracies, a place where the line between our reality and something far darker is painfully thin. In the middle of this chaos stands Murray Bauman, a man who presents himself as a paranoid, ranting, conspiracy theorist living in a clutter of newspaper clippings and frantic connections. To the outside observer, he is a lone wolf, a hermit perfectly suited to his isolated existence, thriving on suspicion and operating on the fringes. But if you look closer, past the wild hair and the explosive outbursts, you discover a profound and deeply human truth. Murray's entire life, his very personality, is shaped by a hidden, aching need for connection, a desperate desire for partnership that he has buried under layers of cynicism and self-protection. This is not just a side note to his character, it is the core of who he is. His journey from an isolated crank to a reluctant, then dedicated, member of a strange family is a story about how the human heart, even when it has been bruised and barricaded, still seeks the light of others. We first meet Murray as a function, not a person. He is the guy who can translate Russian, the paranoid investigator the kids seek out for information. His environment tells the story, a messy home office, walls papered with evidence of plots and secrets, a space designed for one. He talks fast, he insults everyone, he seems to relish being the smartest and most skeptical person in any room. This persona, however, is a fortress. It is a wall he has built after a painful divorce, an event that clearly shattered his trust in the most intimate partnership of all. His marriage falling apart taught him a brutal lesson that letting people in leads to hurt. So, he chose a different path. He decided that if he could not trust one person, he would trust no one, and instead, he would find his connection to the world through information, through uncovering the lies that everyone else swallows. His partnership became with the truth, or his version of it. But this is a lonely partnership. You cannot share a victory with a newspaper clipping. You cannot find comfort in a filed document when the monsters are real. The very intensity of his conspiracy work hints at this void. He is pouring all his need for engagement, for purpose, into this one-man crusade, because to do nothing would be to sit alone with his own loneliness. The cracks in this fortress begin to show not in quiet moments of sadness, but in his explosive interactions with others, particularly Joyce and Jim Hopper. When Joyce and Hopper barge into his life, they are a walking disaster of relationship turmoil. They argue, they snipe, they are clearly entangled in a messy web of past feelings and current frustrations. And Murray watches them. He doesn't just observe their mission, he psychoanalyzes their dynamic with the precision of a surgeon, cutting straight through their denials to the romantic tension underneath. Why is he so obsessed with this? Why does a man who claims to hate human folly spend so much energy trying to get two stubborn adults to admit they care for each other? It's because he sees in them the possibility he has denied himself. Their bickering is a form of connection, a dance of two people who are infuriatingly important to one another. Murray, the ultimate outsider, is living vicariously through their partnership. He is playing the awkward, pushy matchmaker because, in a way, if he can fix them, if he can forge that connection, it proves that connection is still possible in a world that feels increasingly broken. It validates a hope he dare not admit he still holds. His role expands from translator and conspiracy debunker to reluctant therapist and mission controller. He doesn't just help Joyce and Hopper, he joins them. He drives them to the secret Russian base. He fights alongside them. He becomes part of a team. This is the beginning of his transformation from a solo act to a partner. The real turning point, however, comes with his partnership with Alexei. Here, Murray is forced into a direct, one-on-one collaboration. At first, it's transactional. Alexei has information, Murray needs it. But something beautiful and unexpected happens. They share a smile over a Slurpee. They enjoy the childish joys of a carnival together. In Alexei, Murray finds not a project or a source, but a friend. A fellow oddball who understands being on the outside. When Alexei is killed, Murray's grief is not the detached frustration of a failed mission, it is the raw, personal agony of a man who has just lost a true companion. That loss hardens his resolve, yes, but it also cements his allegiance. He is no longer helping Joyce and Hopper for money or even just for the thrill of the truth, he is fighting for Alexei. He is fighting for a friend. The partnership, however brief, had become real, and its end wounds him deeply, proving just how much he had opened up. By the time we see Murray in the later seasons, the transformation is staggering, yet completely earned. His home is no longer just a conspiracy nest, it has become a safe house, a headquarters for the very people he once would have dismissed as irrational. He is cooking elaborate, carefully seasoned meals for the group. This is the ultimate symbol of his hidden desire made manifest. Food is nurture. Food is family. The man who lived on takeout and rage is now using his skills to care for others, to create a communal experience around his table. He argues with them, he complains about them, but he would clearly die for them. He has found his partnership, but not in the romantic, one-on-one way he tried to force on Joyce and Hopper. He has found it in a patchwork, chaotic, chosen family. He is the eccentric uncle, the grumpy guardian, the tactical brains for a team of misfits and kids. His connection is to the entire group. He has a partnership with Joyce, built on mutual respect and a shared sharp intellect. He has a partnership with Hopper, based on a begrudging brotherhood forged in the fires of Russian prisons. He even has a partnership with the kids, becoming a resource and an unlikely protector. Murray Bauman's story, then, is one of the most quietly profound arcs in the entire saga of Hawkins. It tells us that the loudest cynic is often the most disappointed idealist. His paranoid rants about government lies were a scream into a void, a way to feel connected to a world he felt alienated from. His hidden desire for partnership was always there, driving him. It drove him to immerse himself in the cases of missing people, to seek justice for those he never met, because on some level, he wanted to belong to a community that cares. It drove him to push Joyce and Hopper together, to live through their potential happiness. And ultimately, it drove him to open his doors and his heart to the very people who showed him that trust is not a weakness but a strength. In a story about battling literal monsters from another dimension, Murray's battle was an internal, human one, the battle between the fear of getting hurt and the fundamental need to not be alone. He chose, clumsily and wonderfully, to not be alone. He traded the loneliness of being right for the messy, dangerous, and nourishing reality of being loved and needed. His partnership is with the whole strange, wonderful, monster-fighting family of Hawkins, and in that, he finally found the truth he was always searching for, that we are all connected, and that is what makes us strong.